welcome back to my channel, the Pretty Bookish channel, where we talk all things books all the time. I'm super amped today. I just decided to shoot this video. I know I just like hit you guys with like back-to-back videos and it's been a really great time, but on Saturday, was it Saturday? I'm about to lie. Yes, it was Saturday. So Saturday was the exclusive books Hyde Park was having a sale. I think I mentioned on my Instagram. It was the second last day of the sales. To be fair, they had it for like 2 weeks, but like you guys know, September I was doing a book buying ban, so I think it was from the 17th of September to the 4th of October, and I was like in a book buying ban the whole time and I managed to catch the tail end of the sale. And so I went there, went a bit ham. This is what happens when you go on a book buying ban. The next time you step into a bookstore, you're like a serial dieter walking into McDonald's after like 6 years. You're just like, oh my god, I want to eat everything. Okay, so this is what I got. I got these two massive, very heavy packets of books. I think there is about 15 books in there. So I'm just going to show you guys what I got. So this is just going to be an exclusive book sale haul, which is going to be fun. So okay, let me show you guys what I got. Oh, and I also just wanted to like side note and say the exclusive book sale is something that you need to schedule. Whenever you hear they're going to have a sale, guys, English, wow. Whenever you hear they're gonna have a sale, you need to pencil that thing in. And here's a pro tip. Exclusive Books always does this thing when they have these sales where the last 2 days of the sale, it's like 75% off already marked down prices. So I went in the last 2 days of the sale. I picked up about 15 books for I think something like 300 Rand. I'll show you, I'll double check my receipts, but I think it was like 300 Rand. And some of them are really, really good. And other ones, because this is what I always do when I go to sales, right? I always pick up books that I've been thinking about reading. I've been going back and forth about it, but I haven't been 100% sure. And it's also a great way to discover new writers, people you've heard about. Like I think I have a book by Mary Lou. I've heard about her. I've seen her because I read a lot of fantasy, right? I've seen her in the fantasy sci-fi spaces, but I've never read any of her work. So I find a book of hers on sale and I bought it because I was thinking, okay, I can try her now without the added pressure of spending 300 Rand on a book, because there's nothing worse. This is why this is what I tell you guys all the time when I go to bargain books. I love finding and buying new writers and new authors and new series that I've kind of heard about on sale, because then you know that, because then if you end up hating it, like you end up reading this Mary Lou book and it sucks, you're like, okay, well, I spent 30 or 40 Rand on it, so I'm not going to stress. Versus, you know what, when you spend 300 Rand on something and the book sucks, you honestly want to kill everybody. You want to kill everybody who was involved in writing it. There's nothing worse than that. Like, which book did that happen to me recently? Pudding by Julie Murphy. I bought it in hardback. I spent 300 and something Rand on it and I didn't like it and I was fuming and it was very upsetting. But if I bought it like for 60 Rand and I didn't like it, I would have just been like, you know what, this sucks, but I'll just sell it to somebody else, or I'll just give it away. Now I'm fuming. I have to keep it forever because it's in hardback. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, sales are great. Okay, I'm just gonna grab some coffee quickly. Actually, no, I need to charge my camera. It's like flashing at me. Okay, let me go charge my camera and then I'll shoot the rest of this video and then I'll show you guys what I got. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm like trying to maintain hype energy today. It is so cold. Do you know how like when the weather is like cold and it just like gets dreary, you just like your mood plummets and you just get like so drained, and I'm just like so lethargic today. But anyway, I'm like faking the hype just so that I can get through this video. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how best to do this. Let me start with this package. I managed to get quite a few things that I've been eyeing more or less and just hadn't had the opportunity to buy. And then other stuff I just picked up because it looked good and I was just thinking, well, if I'm going to try something, might as well try it now when it's like relatively cheap. Okay, let's see. Let's start with, okay, so first off, I got this book called The Blood Print. Oh god, the lighting's going to be so weird for showing this thing. Oh god, I don't know which end. Okay, that works kind of. Okay, wait, I need to just give me a second. I'm going to cut my video so that I can fix this lighting. Okay, I think this is a bit better. Okay, the book is called The Blood Prince. So it's about in the land of the blind, the one-eyed king. Guys, honestly, I can't read. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So what I can surmise from the back of this book is it's about, so basically like this world, there's a dark force called the Talisman that's risen in the land. And they basically like spread ignorance, and then they're like led by this guy called the one-eyed preacher. So he's the only person in the land I think who can see. And they're all like ages, and this land is like run by patriarchy. Basically, it's our world. Basically, if Donald Trump was the only person who had eyes, it would be that. And then there's a kind of sect of women, secret society of women, who are like trying to like infiltrate and like demolish the world. So basically the world. So it's basically where we live. But I actually bought this just because I thought the cover was really pretty. Also because S.A. Chakraborty, who writes, I think, City of Brass, yeah, said that this book is extraordinary. Guys, I don't know about you guys, but I really be paying attention to blurbs, because I feel like if like Marlon James, or like if Tayari Jones, or like back when Toni Morrison was like alive, if Toni Morrison is on the front of your book with a blurb saying extraordinary, like I'm in. Don't even need to know what it's about. So this, I relatively trust this writer, so yeah, I picked this book up. Honestly, I've never heard of it before, so we're trying new things. Then the next thing I picked up was this book called Queens of the Kingdom, the Women of Saudi Arabia Speak. I think it's a similar kind of book to It's Not About the Burqa. So I just like these kinds of own voices, non-fiction essay collections by women of the global south, because I think a lot of the time the narratives get co-opted by women of the west speaking on their behalf. So I'm always interested in books like this. So this one is about women of Saudi Arabia. So basically a bunch of, I think, essays and stories written by different women in Saudi Arabia speaking on behalf of themselves. Yeah. So I also really like the cover. I think it's really cute. I think I got this book for like 40 Rand. It was mad. So yeah, that one looks really good. And then the third book I picked up was Devil's Cut by J.R. Ward. Okay, so I love J.R. Ward, and I've read The Bourbon Kings, the first book. So this is book 3. The second book is called Angel's Share. I cannot find it anywhere. I am searching high and low, and I think I'm gonna have to buckle at this point and just get the Kindle version, because like I've been looking for Angel's Share for so long, and I just don't know why nobody has it. So I bought Devil's Cut because I actually do want to finish this series. I really liked Bourbon Kings, and it was like 25 Rand. So I was just like, obviously I'm getting it. So yeah, Devil's Cut by J.R. Ward. I like, this one is not usually the type of book I like, though, to be fair. It's not usually J.R. Ward's kind of book that she writes, but I bought, what's it called, this thing, Bourbon Kings on a whim, and ended up loving it. Then the next book I picked up, I don't really want to show you guys. I'm not going to say much about it because J.K. Rowling is crap, but I just bought The Crimes of Grindelwald because it was like 30 Rand, and I just need to complete my collection. I'm not going to say much about it. Oh, do you know what else I got? I got Allegedly by Tiffany Jackson. Oh God, the lighting is so weird. Oh, there we go. Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I have Monday's Not Coming. I haven't. Okay, I don't know why I'm so excited, because I actually haven't read Monday's Not Coming, which I have. So I'm hyping myself up like I've read any of her work. I've never read it, but everybody on Bookstagram, all the black girls I follow on Bookstagram say that this is amazing. So I just bought this because it was also, how much was it? It was, I think it was like 20 Rand. I know, guys, it was crazy. So this was 20 Rand. So I picked this up. Yeah, and I'm gonna read this on Monday's Not Coming. I really need to at least read one of her books. I've seen Grown, her new book, all over Bookstagram, and I feel like I need to read at least one of her previous books before I commit to buying Grown. Then the next book is The Final Score, a play-by-play novel by J.C. Burton. I loved J.C. Burton when I was younger, and this book was literally like 15 or 20 Rand, so I was like, I need to have it. I just love, guys, romance novels with sexy abbed men on the cover. Always here for it. And I actually do love sports romance novels. Do you know what I mean? Where one is a professional athlete. I said this in like one of my previous videos, tropes where one person is super rich or super famous. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just like obsessed with it. So yeah, I wanted to tell you guys, so what ended up happening when I went to the sale, right? So I was there on Saturday. So I went before, let me show you. I was going there. So I went to Hyde Park. And I was on my way to lunch to meet my friends. So like I was super late. So I just went to the sale quickly because I thought, okay, let me just quickly rush. Just see if I can't find some stuff that I want and whatever. So I ended up picking up these ones, right? So I first ended up picking up these 5. These are the first 5, the ones I was telling you about. These are the first 5 that I picked up. When I was there 20 minutes in, picked these up. I get to the till I'm paying and they're like, okay, 100 Rand. I looked at them, I'm like, what do you mean 100 Rand? They're like, yeah, for 5 of these, it's 100 Rand. I was so shocked. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to be in Joburg for the next couple of hours. So I'm asking them, what time do you guys close? They're like, we close at 9. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go quickly go have lunch with my cousin. I'm going to go see my friend's new apartment. And then before I drive back to Pretoria, if I'm not too late, I'm going to drive back to Hyde Park and see if I can't find other stuff that I like. So it's like now 8 o'clock. I ended up getting back to Hyde Park, and that's when I ended up picking up the other 10 books because I was thinking to myself, I have to find a way to get back to Hyde Park because a sale where 5 books is 100 Rand. Like that's something you have to make time for. Like I was like to my friends, guys, I gotta go. Your girl gotta go. Okay, so yeah, so I picked up these 5. So I'm gonna open the other packet now and show you guys the other stuff that I picked up at the sale on the same day, just like my second trip to Hyde Park. Okay. Okay, so I just went to my bookshelf quickly because I wanted to go get one book to show you guys why I'm so excited about the next book that I picked up. I know this is turning into story time, but it is what it is. Okay, so the next book I picked up is The Flame and the Mist by Renee Adi. Okay, so I was so excited when I saw this on the shelf. I literally squealed and people just looked at me because, okay, let me tell you what happened. So I was at Bargain Books earlier this year and I saw, because I love Renee Adi's other series. So I saw the Smoke in the Sun, this cover. It was part of that 3 for 150 sale. So I ended up picking this up for like 50 Rand. So then I have been looking for The Flame in the Mist for ages because I was thinking to myself, like, I don't want to have to pay like 1,000,000 Rand for it. Like, I don't want to have to pay 250 Rand for it because the covers have to match. This is the problem, is that I bought this not realizing that the covers, Renee Adi has multiple editions of all her books. So I was struggling so much to find the cover that matches. So then when I happened upon this at exclusive book sale for 20 Rand, I was like, oh my god, I was so excited. Like, this is just, so now I have the complete series and now I can read them both, and if I end up hating them, I'll sell them, but I don't think I will because I generally do like Renee Adi. Then the next thing I bought was a similar situation, but also me being stupid, because sometimes I'd be buying things and only when I get home I'm just like, why did you buy that? So it's God's Grave by J. Christoph. It's book 2, I think, in the Nevernight series. I do not have Nevernight. I have not read Nevernight. But this book was like 25 Rand or 20 Rand. So I thought to myself, okay, let's just get it because I do want to read Nevernight series. All my favorite like fantasy, especially my Black Girl fantasy people on Instagram, everybody seems to have liked this series. So I thought, okay, I actually do want to read it eventually. So let me actually just pick up God's Grave for 20 Rand. That way when I buy Nevernight, even if I buy it like full price or whatever, I'm not going to have to spend like 400 Rand for both. It will be like 200 Rand because the other one will be like, do you know what I mean? And then I also thought, even if I end up hating Nevernight, then I will just sell God's Grave and Nevernight or do a giveaway. So it's just not that big a deal, but I'm really, really glad I managed to find this. Yeah, that made me really excited as well. Okay, so next we have this bag. This is most of the stuff that I went back for in shopping round 2. Put the receipt over there. Okay, the first book is the one that I spoke about in my intro, which was Warcross by Mary Lou. Guys, where do you get hardbacks for 35 Rand? Where do you know where they do that? Exclusive book sales where they do that. I have been wanting this book for a while because I've been not let me rephrase. I have been wanting a book by Mary Lou for a really long time, and the fact that I managed to find Warcross in hardback for 35 Rand, I'm just really happy. So it's a book about, I think, this girl who's kind of like a bounty hunter, like an bounty hunter of some sort. She's tasked tracking down Warcross players who bet on the game illegally. Then for some reason she ends up getting embroiled in the game, and then she meets the game's creator, this elusive young billionaire called Hideo Tanaka. And I think this is like an Asian sci-fi type thing. Very excited. Guys, billionaires. The only thing is I really hope her and the billionaire end up falling in love. That will make me really happy. I hope he's not the villain, because do you remember when I was reading Crescent City, guys, and I was just like, oh my god, yes, Bryce and what was his name, Micah, the archangel, and then he ended up being evil. Heartbroken. I was absolutely traumatized by that. And then the next book I also got in hardback is called Summer of Salt. It's called Summer of Salt. I don't know if you can see that. It's Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. Someone I follow on Instagram, her name is Darian. Her handle is your favorite plot twist, your fave plot twist. She said that this is one of her favorite books. So when I saw it there in the sales section for 30 Rand, I thought to myself, let me just pick it up. It's in hardback. I love getting sale on things in hardback because it's really hard to buy things in hardback sometimes because you don't, the financial commitment is a lot, but I'm really glad I managed to pick this up. Darian swears by it, so I'm excited to see what it's about. Next, guys, this video is taking so long because actually I realized I actually bought a lot of books. The next one I'm very happy to finally have. I've been eyeing it for so long and I'm so glad I managed to find it for 25 Rand, and that is Boy Erased by what's his name, Gerard Conley. It's also been made into a movie. It's a queer novel about, I think, a boy who ends up in a conversion camp. It's about a boy, a Baptist pastor, the son of a Baptist pastor, I say that 5 times fast, who ends up in a conversion camp. It's a queer novel, and I've heard it's brilliant. Like a lot of people say that it's one of those like gut-wrenching, beautiful novels, but also, you know what? Lately, I've been veering more in the direction of reading queer YA because I'm just really like, my heart breaks every time I see books like this about like the actual like really tragic experiences and the really heartbreaking experiences of queer people. So I try to be, I've been veering towards YA and avoiding like the heavier stuff, but I'm really glad I finally have this. It's gonna be right at home on my queer lit section, and I just generally want to collect all the queer lit that the world has. Okay, the next book I picked up is called Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson, simply because never read Renee Watson and I've seen her on Instagram. I think it's YA. The cover's super cute. She's a black writer and I'm just here for it. So I think it was like 20 Rand and I was just like, why not? Then the next book is called, oh, this one I'm so excited about. This is called The Gendered Brain by Gina Rippon. The new neuroscience that shatters the myth of the female brain. Okay, so I am a gender masculinity studies law scholar. That's like my academic field of area of expertise, is my field of focus. So I actually saw this book last year. Let me tell you a story. This is turning into like multiple story times, but I saw this book last year when I was in London. I saw it at Waterstones. I wanted to get it. And it had just come out. The problem was I already had like 15 books in my bag because I don't only have a book buying problem. I have a skincare problem, makeup problem, and just generally a clothing problem. My bag was full. It was heavy. My carry-on was full. It was like our last day in London. My brother's bag was top to toe full. My mom's bag was top to toe full. There was no space. And this is a chunky ass book. So I just like, okay, fuck, I'm gonna just leave it. And then I'll get it somehow, somewhere, because I have a whole section of books in my academic library that's outside my door that is basically like just gender theory, that I just like to collect these kinds of books to read them, to just make sure that I'm like keeping up to date. And they're great for when I use these books when I wrote my thesis, and also I'm going to use them when I do my PhD. So just really excited to finally have this, and it was like 40 Rand, and I'm just like, guys, like why is everything so bomb? Okay, then the next one is also queer YA. It's called Georgia Peach's Forbidden Fruit. It's about a girl who comes out of the closet. She's been out in Pride for years, and then when her dad moves to like the small town, she goes with him, and then he asks her, please, can you just like step back in the closet so that we can just like blend in? And then she does, but then she falls in love with this girl named Mary in the town, and then she's kind of thinking, do I stay in the closet for my dad or do I live out and proud? So I basically just picked this up because, guys, queer YA always a vibe. Also, the cover is really cute, and I got like sucked in by the pretty cover. The next thing, guys, I bought so many books. Actually, I'm just like, now that I'm like looking through them, I'm just like, this was a mess. Okay, so I have a couple more. I'm trying to go quickly because like I just realized like I actually bought a lot of books. I don't think I realized, you know, when you're in the bookstore and you're in the purchasing, you don't realize that you're going overboard, especially when things are so cheap. And then when you step back and you just like, girl, you just bought like 15 books for no reason. Anyway, okay, the next two are for my mom. They're not for me, so that doesn't really technically count. One is called Fully Human, 3 Steps to Grow Your Emotional Fitness, and the other one is called Diversify, 6 Degrees of Integration. My mom is kind of a life coach. That's what she's doing now with her life. After all her corporate stuff, she's moving into life coaching. So these are the kinds of books that she likes to keep. Plus, she's trying to create a library for herself of resources for that kind of thing. So yeah, and then we have a couple more. We have Not That Bad, Dispatches from Rape Culture, edited by Roxane Gay. It's my first Roxane Gay that I actually, no, I'm lying. I have Untamed State. Why was I just about to lie to you guys? I have Untamed State. Dispatches from Rape Culture. So again, anything like this, sexual violence, gender, masculinity studies, anything like that, up my alley. It's my academic field of focus. So I'm excited to have this, which I got for, I think, 40 Rand. The next one is really weird. I have to explain before you guys like, what? Okay, so it's Jenny Han's To All the Boys I Loved Before. I do have book 2 and 3, right? I own them. I just don't have book 1. And I've been wanting to get book 1 to complete my set, right? But then I go to exclusive books and this trilogy is on sale for like 60 Rand for all 3. So I'm thinking to myself, why would I spend 180 Rand buying just book 1 when I can spend 60 Rand buy all 3? And I'm just going to sell the other 2 or do a giveaway or whatever. But I'll probably just do I'll just put them aside for the next time I do a book sale, which will probably be like in November when I do a secondary purge. But now I have book 1 and I'm very happy about that. So actually, I don't know why I was like feeling embarrassed. You guys get it. Like I know you guys get it. Okay. Then the last one is the one that I'm actually probably the most excited about because I did not know. I was like this year's old or the years old when I saw it, or like very recently years old when I realized it's a thing. Don't know how nobody thought to tell me that Magnus and Alec have their own books. Like, guys, why would no one tell me this? I'm sitting here obsessed with, do you guys know how obsessed I am with Magnus Bain and Alec Lightwood from the Mortal Instruments? And you guys don't tell me that they have their own series. It's called The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. Basically, it's everything I wanted Mortal Instruments to be. You know how like after she finished Mortal Instruments, she was writing the Dark Artifices and the other things. I'm thinking to myself, sis, I don't need any of this. All I need you to do right now is write an entire series with Magnus and Alec. That's all you need to do. And then she did it and nobody told me. So I'm actually really upset about that. But I'm glad I finally have it. And I also then Googled and I realized that the second one actually just came out. So I'm really happy that I'm actually like, switched on and know what's happening in the world, because now at least I have book 1 and I hope we will get book 2 relatively soon. Okay, so that was the last one. Let me just look, make sure everything is done. Okay, so that was the last one. I think in total, I was like trying to count the receipts quickly. I think I spent in total like 380 Rand for every single one of the books that you just saw. That is the equivalent of, it's like $20 for every single one of those books you just saw. Let me just quickly count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's 18 books plus the Jenny Han series. So that's technically 21 books for 400 Rand. What do you know about that? Guys, please understand, when I tell you that I shop at sales, when I tell you the way you build a library is to stay woke. This is what I mean, okay? This is what I do. I make sure exclusive books, bargain books, all the booksellers, when they're having sales, I make sure I stay woke. You're not always going to find stuff that you like, but a lot of the time you're going to be able to beef up your library on stuff, because the thing is, books don't expire, guys. You don't have to be reading the latest hardback to be enjoying books. They don't expire. Just because, what you call this thing, just because, I don't know, Flame in the Mist came, whoop, I almost just dropped it. Just because Flame in the Mist came out like 4 years ago doesn't mean it's gonna be any less bomb when I read it now. So yeah, that's my little rant, my little life lessons, serving books and life lessons up in here. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now because I've been talking for a very, very long time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel below. Tell me if you've read any of these, literally all of them, any of them. If you've read them, DM me, tell me if you enjoyed them, what I should start with, what I should focus on, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a really good day, and look out for my next video, which I hopefully will be shooting relatively soon. Okay, bye guys.